Welcome to Lesson 7 of Unit 10, Wind and Water Change the Earth. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, what do we need to know to prevent wind erosion? Students will watch videos of a dust storm and then simulate their own dust storm in the classroom using sand and a hairdryer. They figure out that wind can be erosive to land, creating problems for people, plants, and animals. In the Engage, ask students to recall what they read about wind erosion in The Sun, the Wind, and the Rain book. Use these question prompts to discuss the ways wind affects Earth's surface. Then show this video loop of wind moving sand over a sand dune. In the Explore, use these question prompts and videos to engage students in a discussion about reasons wind erosion could be problematic and any effects they observed. It may be helpful to develop a chart of their ideas to reference through the lesson. In the Explain, lead a brainstorming session with students to problem-solve the issue of wind erosion. Record their ideas and then explain that wind erosion can be harmful, but we can take it. Designing and building a windbreak, like a fence, or planting taller plants and trees is one way to prevent wind erosion. Then direct students to the engineering design cycle on Student Journal page 17. Review the steps with students and explain that this is a way of thinking engineers use to solve problems. Start with the step identifying the problem, then ask students what problem they are trying to solve. Hopefully they realize that the problem is wind erosion. Then show them the materials they will have for building the model of a windbreak. Students will have pipe cleaners, yarn, rubber bands, index cards, and paper clips provided in the mySci kit for students to use for building windbreaks. Sand, a foil pan, a trash bag, and a hairdryer is provided as well to model a dust storm and to test their designs. Follow the directions shown here to model a dust storm for students to observe before they begin building. Then direct students to Student Journal page 18, Wind Erosion Observation and Planning. Ask them to use words and pictures to record what they saw, then share their drawing out. Student drawings should include the hairdryer, sand pile, wind direction, and any observations students made about the effects of the wind. In the Elaborate, students will begin research and brainstorming as part of the engineering design cycle. In small groups or pairs, ask them to think of ways to use those materials to stop erosion, consider criteria and constraints to their design, and then develop an idea that they will try first. On the bottom half of Student Journal page 18, Wind Erosion Observation and Planning, they can sketch their ideas and materials they would like to use for building their windbreak. In the Evaluate, use the engineering design cycle on Student Journal page 17 for students to check off the steps of the cycle that they have completed and mark the next step with a star. By the end of this lesson, students will observe and describe the problem of wind erosion and use the engineering design cycle to develop a windbreak as a possible solution.